Welcome to another week of Blathercast Comics, where we talk about comic books, pop culture, and other general blather. I'm John.
And I'm Dave.
Hey, so what have you been up to this week?
Not much. I started reading the novel American Gods, and I'm only 2 chapters into it so far, but I like it. I like it a lot. And obviously reading comics and that jazz.
So you're just getting introduced to Shadow then, right?
Yeah.
And has he met Wednesday yet?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay, so they're well off. Have you gotten to the bar scene?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know when all this stuff happened in what chapter
Yeah, I
in
know.
the book. I really like that scene in the book. Has he fought the leprechaun yet?
No.
All right. As long as I can spoil one thing for you, I feel like
I,
I've
I
done
I
my
don't think
duty.
it I don't think it's a spoiler. I kind of it's fine. It's not, oh my god, it's ruined. Yeah.
That's all right.
So what do you
They kiss and make up afterwards.
So what have you been up to?
Well, we had our dinner, which we didn't talk about on Monday, I guess. But we had our Easter dinner. That turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
And I read some comic books, and
Yeah.
that's about it. I didn't do much else. Been working,
Okay.
so that's pretty boring.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. That's all I do is work and read
I
and pay bills.
I
Those are the 3 things I do. I don't even eat that much.
so they had a special on ads on
Yeah.
YouTube to do a
Okay.
video ad to kind of spread the word about our channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd take advantage of that. And this morning I get a notice that our ad has been disabled because of shocking content.
What was so shocking about our content?
I don't know. I probably said the word fuck or something, and they didn't like that.
Yeah, so that's not suitable for, ads.
Yeah, and it's not like I read the terms of what you could do in an ad.
Sure. Of
So,
course, why would you?
so I was just like, they're like, what video do you want to promote? I'm like, the last one, I guess. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it didn't specifically describe shocking content, like what that was. So they had shocking content, offensive content, racist content, hate speech. These are all separate things. So I know we didn't
Hate
get
speech.
we did yeah, we didn't get busted on any of those things, but shocking content, which they didn't describe. But later on in in their disclaimer, they said profanity. So I'm guessing maybe that was it because we don't swear a whole lot on this show, but I do let one go here and there.
Yeah, I don't. We swear, but not that much. I'm
No,
trying not to as much, but
yeah, it's not like
honestly, it's not really hard not to. I guess when I was younger, I would swear all the time, especially when we did our first podcast. But I
yeah,
don't know.
there was something about that first podcast where it was almost like we were just liberally saying whatever, and
Yeah,
we really
yeah. It was like a contest.
yeah. It was a fun show though, and it was pretty funny, and that's probably why this show doesn't get as many views
Yeah,
because I'm not funny
because
anymore.
we're not funny. We're old.
I'm just an old, boring old man.
Yeah, me too. It's all right. It's all right.
All right, on to dick jokes. Okay.
Okay.
So, you read The Flash this week.
Yeah, Flash number 44. Um, this is written by one of my favorite writers of all time. Of all
Okay,
time.
I want you to pause right there.
Okay.
So, I take it you don't have this whole run in your store.
I don't have this whole run in my store, but I could get the trades.
Okay, okay.
I think I have like a lot of the run though.
I don't mean this
Because I
whole
was
run,
looking.
just this story arc.
Oh, the story arc. I think I might.
All right. Yep. Okay. Yeah, put that in the bag.
All right. I'll try to do that.
Just a little sales thing happening right here in the middle of the show.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
big
that
deal.
was excellent. So, like, this is written by one of my favorite writers, is Josh Williamson, who is he wrote a book that I really like called Nailbiter from Image Comics. He currently writes Birthright for Image Comics, which is another fantastic series. Pretty much anything that he writes, I read. He's writing a book called Deathbed as well.
Can
It's a Vertigo
I
book.
totally think I put up the new 52 issue 44 picture.
Oh well, this is Rebirth 44.
Whoops. I just see the writer here is Venditti, and I'm like
Vendetta.
that.
Oh,
That's
one of my favorite, other favorite writers too. So
which is
he's
why
cool.
that didn't throw me off at first because I was like,
Yeah,
I knew you liked him. I didn't think he was your favorite.
Josh Williamson is one of my favorites, and so is Robert Vendetti. So what I said holds true for both of them. But this one's by Williamson. This is the Rebirth run, not the New 52 run. Uh, so like this starts as like a letter to Iris. He's fighting. He's in the middle of fighting Gorilla Grodd, who has been trying to steal the Speed Force from the Flash. He did steal the Speed Force from the Flash. Flash got it back, basically cut Gorilla Grodd off from the Speed Force altogether. And Gorilla Grodd is like, if I can't have the Speed Force, no one can, and I'd rather be dead. So he starts this huge, like, electrical storm, I guess, I don't know, onto the city here in Central City. And the Flash and basically all his teammates of the Flash are working together, which is Godspeed, who is a newer character that was introduced in this run, Wally West, Flash, Wally West, Kid Flash, and there's a character that was introduced in the run called um, her name was Mina, and there's also the Flash from China, who's in the new Superman book, who's the Superman from China. So they're like together, and what I really like about this book is he's kind of like the Flash is going to sacrifice himself. He's like, I'm going to go into the Speed Force. We're going to stop. He has a plan on how to stop this storm, and he's like, I'm going to do it by myself. And they're like, no, why would you do it by yourself? We're all in this. We need Barry Allen, Wally West, or we need Barry Allen as Flash. And even though there's like 13 other Flashes in this universe, but at the end of the book, it's really cool because this whole thing was kind of, as the story was going on, it's a letter to Iris, and basically how much he loves her and cares about her, and yeah, I thought it was just a pretty good emotional ending to the story arc. And then at the end, we see like a little bit of a teaser for the next storyline about um, Hunter Zolman, who is a Reverse Flash or Zoom, I think, who is looks like a little teaser for the um, Flash War that's coming up.
Is a so what do you expect to see in Flash War, you think?
What do you know, it's hard to say. I think I don't know. There's a lot of different there's a lot of different Flashes in this book, or people that have Speed Force powers, and um, one of the characters that was introduced in the beginning. Well, two of the characters that are introduced in the run was the Godspeed character and a character named Mina, who I can't remember her Speed Force name, but those two characters were introduced in this run, and they're not exactly like heroes. Godspeed is basically a killer, and Mina was working and used the reverse Speed Force, the Dark Speed Force. So like they're kind of not. They're part of this team, but they're not exactly like all friends. And I don't know if this has something to do with Wally West coming back, the original Wally West coming back. He was kind of like a huge part of starting this whole DC rebirth. If you read the one shot that came out um, like 2 years ago, that was basically like Wally West being lost in the Speed Force and being lost in time, and Barry didn't even know who he was. So I don't know what I expect. I have a feeling that definitely Reverse Flashes are going to be a part of it.
All right. Yeah, I wish I would have read some of this rebirth stuff. I maybe I'll pick up a couple of the storylines that are coming out. I know I want to probably do the Green Lantern and maybe this Flash War and then this storyline maybe
Yeah.
because it sounds good. Um,
It,
yeah. So I read last night a Avengers book called Back to Basics, and it is the premise of the book basically starts off is Kamala Khan is training to be an Avenger, and they give her a set of VR goggles to learn the history of the Avengers. And I was like, oh, cool. It'll be some old timey type stories. Um,
mm-hmm.
She puts on the goggles in the beginning of the book, and boom, your Avengers adventure begins. So it's going along pretty good. Uh, Bruce Banner and Thor are talking in Avengers Tower, and Thor is, commenting on what a wuss Bruce Banner is because he's drinking tea instead of beer. And then Loki comes in and uh, is trying to warn him for some, about something. But of course, they get in a fight first. And Loki's trying to warn him that there's this demon attack about to happen in Central Park that's going to bring on Ragnarok. But since there was a fight, he's like, I was going to help you, but screw you guys. I'm going home. And he disappears. And they're just like, well, Tony's down there with Pepper for some, I don't know. They're down there for
Sex.
something.
Sex.
No, I think it was like something to do with
Colons.
women. Celebrating women or something.
Ah, okay.
So
Something boring. Right.
so they're down there, and uh, Pepper just disappears, and Tony goes looking for her, and she got pulled underneath the lake in Central Park, and it caused her to bleed, and it unleashed the demons,
She
and
got pulled under the lake,
somehow, yes.
and she's bleeding.
she bled or she cut herself, and that's what
Ah.
got her pulled under the lake. I don't know. Blood started the whole thing off. Her blood.
Ah.
She
Okay.
gets pulled under the lake,
Hmm.
and above the lake, this huge wolf creature comes up, and Hulk and Thor arrive just as this wolf creature shows up. Tony goes off to find Pepper. He discovers that she's under the lake, and he goes under the lake also. But in the meantime, Thor and Hulk just start beating on this wolf, and they're having fun, and the wolf eats the Hulk.
What? How big is this thing?
It's huge. It's like a huge
Oh,
wolf.
okay.
It's like the size of a
Like
house. Like, it's huge.
easy, big enough to put the whole Hulk in his mouth.
Yes. Yeah.
The whole
We're
raging
talking
Hulk right in his mouth.
like a 4-story wolf.
Okay.
Monster wolf. So, and then of course Hulk blasts his way out of his stomach, and there's blood everywhere, and that's pretty awesome. So I'm pretty stoked so far. There's lots of action. They're going to stop evil from taking over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to bring up, this is where the story totally goes off, and I'm going to bring up the page right here so everybody can see. Tony's down below trying to save Pepper, and he meets the demons. And I'm just going to read this one page, and then I'll go on to continue on how the story ended. Meanwhile, underground, Tony says, "Look, whatever was done to you in the past, it doesn't give you an excuse to destroy the world." And then the demon says, "Of course it does. Whether it's a husband abusing his wife or an executive using his power to harass a female, man has not changed at his core for thousands of years." And then Tony says, "That's kind of a valid point, actually. But I'd feel a lot better discussing this if Pepper were here." "Watch it, Tony. Don't worry, I've got it," Tony says. "Covered." "Oh, that's new." Anyways, that I was just like, are you kidding me?
Wait, why would the demon be saying those things? First of all, like for real, like why the hell would the demon
You
be
guys treat
saying
your
those?
women bad, so we're gonna destroy the whole planet.
Yeah, like one, the demon, like why would he care? Why? And two, like why? Why? What writer? Who wrote this? I'm sorry. That's pretty hilarious. Like,
So they all end up above the earth, and they're gonna fight, and Pepper's like, "No, I got it." And she goes up, and for whatever reason, they were ready to destroy the earth, but they won't attack her. And then she grabs
I,
the leader's sword and like scrapes her hand with it. And it was like, "Oh, it started with my blood, it had to end with my blood." And then they all leave and get sucked back down to hell or wherever they came from. So,
I feel more comfortable if Pepper was here.
so because Earth is full of basically we're all misogynist assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
that means that the whole Earth needs to be cold or something. And yeah, Peter David wrote it. He's the writer.
Wow.
And apparently, Iron Man's a cuck.
What is going on?
I I don't want to talk about books that I didn't like either, but
I don't even know.
this
I
one
don't even
really,
have
I
a.
I thought the whole thing was like, for one, I was really enjoying the story up to that point, and it just like took this weird left turn, and was like,
Serious.
what are you? Like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't know what that has to do with anything. They took this story about Ragnarok and this, and then turned it into uh, a feminist crusade. But the feminists are bad, but they're not. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get the whole purpose of that at all. Like, why is that in the book?
Yeah, I met this demon once, and he was like, "Hey, pollution is bad. You should. It has a huge effect on your environment, and because you polluted, I'm totally destroying your goddamn world." Oh man, that's what happened. It was weird.
So
He
yeah,
was really hip to like all like the social issues and environment and women's rights. This is crazy demon guy.
yeah,
I
and
don't know.
they've been locked up for eons. These demons,
He was like,
and this is their number one
I'm going to
concern when they get
destroy
out.
the earth because Pepper is not getting paid enough. Like, there's a wage gap inequality here. She should be getting paid more than, uh, her other male coworkers. and I seen Bill look at her butt the other day, and that wasn't right. So this world needs to die.
And that's not to say that a story that incorporates these themes, like that, I am not for that. Because actually, one of the books that I've been reading, which I totally disagree with the premise and the themes and whatever, but it actually, I think it's a good story, is Days of Hate. And I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
liking it. I like the way the guy wrote the book. I'm liking the story, but it's a way left wing. I don't
Yeah.
agree with it. It's a very propaganda book, but that's the place for that story though, on its own label. I don't want it
Yeah,
in.
like
I
it's a
don't want it.
creator owned book. Like, who
I
cares?
don't
Like,
want it
do
in my
whatever you want.
superhero book, especially when they shoehorn it in like that and it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. It just reminds it. I don't know.
It,
It's super hilarious to me. I don't know. Like,
I found it amusing too, and I could not talk about it.
yeah, right,
I
right,
was like, oh my
exactly,
god, this is so
exactly,
ridiculous.
exactly.
Oh, Iron Cuck. That's what
I
that's what I'm gonna
don't,
call him now.
I don't, I don't feel comfortable without Pepper here.
Hey,
Oh,
I think I should stop and kick your ass, but let me ask my wife first.
you know how we got our ad denied there. Well, this episode won't qualify either.
Yeah, I think if I want to run an ad again, I think we need to actually make a proper trailer and run that.
Yeah, probably be a good idea.
Yeah. Did you have any other books? Did you
Yeah,
want to?
so I finished Thanos 18, which is the end of the Thanos Win storyline by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw. And I just love this story so much. They did a great job with it. So basically, at the end of the previous issue, young Thanos had met older Thanos in the future, and they teamed up to kill the Silver Surfer, who had like the Thor hammer too. So they ended up killing Silver Surfer, and young Thanos, kind of comes to the conclusion like, um, death is here, and she looks like she's in a wedding dress, and young Thanos goes to old Thanos and he's like, wait, like, I wasn't here to help you kill the Silver Surfer. I was here to kill you. And the only person that can kill Thanos is Thanos, right? So I thought that was kind of a cool twist. And while he's having this conversation with his uh, older self, Death is kind of looking on, and she's being very like childlike, and she won't talk, and he's like getting kind of aggravated. So older Thanos has like kind of this long speech about it, and younger Thanos is like, they have this big battle. Like, he's not going to make it easy. He's not going to just sit down and let his younger self kill him, but he wants to be killed because he thinks that then he'll finally be free and he'll be with Death. So kind of like during this battle, younger Thanos realizes, I'm not gonna do what you asked me to do. Like, you want to kill yourself? Go do it, dude. And older Thanos is like, please, please do this. And younger Thanos is like, kings don't beg. That was kind of a cool storyline. Young Thanos eventually gets back to his own time. He uses this gem that the Cosmic Ghost Rider was using. And basically, he's going to come back and go back to his home and basically wipe out this timeline, really, because he's not going to become this guy. And at the end, it was pretty cool. I liked the end of the story. Older Thanos is sitting there with Death, and he's like, "You weren't dressed for a wedding, were you?" And she was dressed basically for a funeral, his funeral, and he kind of fades away, and she's there, like, just smelling the black rose. So I really like the book.
That sounds like a good end too.
Yeah, it's I'm not like going into major detail about it. I'm just kind of skimming, but yeah, I mean, they really have some really good dialogue between each other and the two Thanos characters. And Death is kind of just sitting there, like, as a spectator, being kind of like a child, like very childlike, and it's very frustrating because he's just like, just talk. Like, I'm tired of it. The dude that's been, waiting to die for freaking 2,000 years, he's got to be tired of this crap. Like, what is this game you're playing with me? Like, I've killed everybody, and I'm going to go kill my older self, and you still, like, won't talk. So it's just kind of a cool story, though. I really like it. I think he understands the character a lot. And I hope he comes back to this character one day. I know he's going to do, Donny Cates is going to do the Cosmic Ghost Rider miniseries coming out in, like, the summer. But I really like his Thanos.
Outstanding.
So, yeah, definitely pick that up. And I'm sure there'll be a trade coming out with this story, and then there's going to be an annual coming out in 2 weeks, and I think that's collected in the trade. So when that trade's out, I think you should get it.
So, as I said last week, when you go to your local comic book shop, make sure, along with all the new books you pick up a trade of something you might have missed. And try out something that's not normally on your pull list. Um, you know, just try it out. Even if it is something you think will just be a piece of garbage, pick it up anyways.
Sometimes I really enjoy reading a bad story. Uh, but, like, then I feel sad because, especially if it's from, like, Marvel or DC, because I know there's so many creators out there, that writers and artists that could tell a great story, and that book is in the way of them getting a job, But yeah, sometimes reading a bad story is kind of fun.
Yeah, it's strange because I picked up Days of Hate and I read the first couple pages in the shop and I was like, man, this book is gonna make me so mad and I'm gonna hate it so much. I have to
Mm-hmm.
buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up liking the story.
I read the first issue. I thought it was really bad. I was super bored, but
Yeah, I like it that there's a dynamic going on with these two lesbians, and the one lesbian uh, is like a traitor, and she's talking to the FBI or the anti left wing terrorist group, like, and the other lesbian's part of the left wing terrorist group,
yeah.
and her girlfriend, her scorned girlfriend, is like ratting her out, and it's like the girlfriend, you're getting like backstory with her, the one that's the one that's talking to the cops,
Hmm.
and then you're getting kind of present time from the terrorist girlfriend.
Hmm.
And it's pretty interesting, and I like the way he's built the world. Even though it's like super far fetched, because you're only talking like another 7 years from now.
Yeah, I don't mind like really, really far fetched things. I mean, especially when we're talking about comic books and in a aspect of like science fiction and stuff or science fantasy. So like, I don't I
Well,
don't really read too much into that, right?
what you originally told me about the first issue being confusing, really I didn't really think it was that confusing, but it did hop around a little too much.
Yeah, I think it was confusing to me, but like that sometimes I get confused with books, but that's because of my ADD and like I it jumps around and I jump around and then I lose focus. Like
Right.
I lose focus, so it's not necessarily like
It did
they
jump
did have.
around a lot. It introduced four characters, and it was like 2 pages, one character, 2 pages,
Yeah,
the next character, 2 pages, the next character, 2 pages, the next character, and then it went back to the first character again and did it all over.
yeah, and like if the characters look very similar to each other, I can't tell
Right.
the difference,
Well, I
especially
mean,
with the
who can
new.
tell lesbians apart, anyways?
Well, I'm not agreeing with that, but I'm gonna
Me
laugh.
neither.
Uh,
It was a joke. It was a joke. Oh man.
uh, but like
I
with the
mean,
new
everybody
number.
knows they're all fat.
Anyway, so you can.
I just can't. I'm so kidding.
Anyway,
Man.
you can follow me on Twitter at Second Prince. That's 2NDPRINTS, and follow John at Johnny Redbeard.
Yeah. If you have any artwork you want to submit, John at blathercast.com. You can send the art to that email address, and I'll probably just discard it. No, no, I'll look at it. I promise.
So like, subscribe, comment. Tell us if you like episodes like this. Tell us if you don't. Probably done talking about Thanos for a while, so I'll be talking about other books now. And yeah,
Another,
subscribe. Yeah, like, subscribe, and comment.
yeah, another issue
In the bag.